Hello, everybody, and we're here. We're live. Canadians game ended, of course, about 20 or so minutes ago, and probably 10, 15 minutes ago. It's 6 o'clock. I actually did not mean to start at 6 o'clock, but the Canadians, they played the Flyers tonight, or today, actually, I should say, because it was an afternoon game. The Canadians went in, they played the Flyers, and the Flyers beat them. It was Philly 4, Canadians 3, as you could probably tell by the time it was in overtime. Of course, as always, I'm going to go over the stats on my board, and then I'll go over the notes I took for the game. So Tomas Tatar still leads the team, now 9 goals, 15 assists for 24 points. Shea Weber, 8 goals, 13 assists for 21 points. Philip Deneau, 7 goals, 12 assists for 19 points. Brendan Gallagher, 10 goals, 8 assists for 18 points. Max Domi with 6 goals, 11 assists, and 17 points. Jonathan Drouin, who, of course, is injured, 7 goals, 8 assists for 15 points. Jeff Petrie, 2 goals, 13 assists for 15 points. Joel Armia, 9 goals, 5 assists for 14 points. Nick Suzuki, 6 goals, 7 assists for 13 points. Victor Hedman, 5 goals, 7 assists for 12 points. Ben Sherrod, 3 goals, 8 assists, 11 points. Victor Mete, 3 goals, 5 assists for 8 points. Nate Thompson, 1 goal, 6 assists for 7 points. Nick Cousins, 2 goals, 5 assists for 7 points. Jesper Kotkaniemi, 3 goals, 2 assists for 5 points. Mike Riley with 5 assists. And Jordan Wheel, 1 goal, 3 assists. And Paul Byron, who's still injured, with 3 goals, 1 assist. Brent Kulak with 2 assists. He was connections unstable. All right. Christian Folin with 1 assist, as does Charles Hudon, 1 assist. Ryan Poehling with 0 points, who was not playing. And Gustav Olofsson, who makes his Montreal Canadiens debut tonight. He had 0 points tonight. But Gustav Olofsson making his Canadiens debut tonight. I was very happy to hear that. Our record with the loss goes to 11-9-6 for 28 points now. We are now 4th in the Atlantic and 9th in the East. Last game, obviously, this one, Canadians 3, Flyers 4, was overtime. Our 7th loss in a row. Power play is 13 for 83 now. We are still not that great on the power play, despite scoring a power play goal tonight, which we'll get into, obviously. Penalty kill was 59 for 81, so we still have a fairly good power play. Home record is now 6-6-3. Our away record is still 5-3-3. We'll see if that is a 6. If it's a 4 in one of those columns, literally tomorrow night against the Bruins. And of course, my board's name is Borstai because it's Mexican. So yeah, here we're gonna get into the Canadiens game, or we already got into the Canadiens game. The stats on my board. Now we're gonna get into the actual notes that I took. So if I can just get these up, and there we go. If anyone has anything to chat, or if anyone wants to say anything in the chat, please feel free. I'm going to start my notes now. I, of course, have the chat on screen if anyone has anything to say. So the opening lineups, they were Tatar, Deneau, Gallagher, Lehkonen, Doby, Suzuki. Sorry. I should probably fix my hair a little bit. Cousins, Kotkaniemi, Armia, and Hudon, Thompson, and Wheel. Yeah, no, but for Captain Canada, I agree. It was a disappointing game today. Mete, Weber, Sherrod, Petrie, and Olofsson Fleury were the defense pairings tonight. So Sherrod back with Petrie and Mete back with Weber. And then Riley and Kulak were healthy scratches in honor of Olofsson and Fleury. And when you look at it points-wise, it doesn't make sense to replace 7 points with 1. But looking at it defensively, personally, Fleury is infinitely better than Kulak. And I think that Olofsson is better than Riley. Despite Riley have 5 assists, I think Olofsson, if he were to stay on the NHL roster, which I think he could for a couple games. I think he'll get a couple games. I honestly think he could have a mainstay here. Now I know some people are probably going to be saying, why didn't the Habs call up Alexander Romanov? Well, because you need a guy like Olofsson who I don't want to say he's expendable, but who you can put on a third pairing, and if he gets injured, that sucks, but at least we have these guys. Whereas Romanov, not only would your NHL team be screwed in that aspect, but so would your AHL team be. Sorry, but officials suck. I agree. I will get into some missed calls, and this team needs to change. Captain Canada, I mean, we're heading in the right direction. We did lose in overtime, so that's a plus for tonight. We did get a point. But if you're talking about head coach, then yes, definitely. No matter if we got 3 points in 7 games with overtime losses, it's still 7 losses in a row. So the team, Well, the team definitely needs to change in that department. Get a squirt of water. And of course, like I mentioned, Fleury was returning the lineup, and I put my boy Gustav Olofsson in the lineup tonight, and Riley and Kulak were scratched, of course, and my other boy Wes McCauley was one of the officials tonight. I'm gonna blame everything that the officials call not on Wes McCauley, because I don't think Wes McCauley had any botch calls tonight, and I'm a big supporter of Wes McCauley either way. 19 seconds in, and the first shot on goal goes in. It's Joel Armia. He scores from Victor Mete for his ninth of the year, which sucks because I recorded a video today that uses stats that are officially old. So, yeah. So, yeah. So, what? That's the best way to put this game. So, but Armia scoring 19 seconds in looked to be promising. It looked to be either, okay, the Canadiens are going to blow this game away, or it's probably going to be close, and it ended up being much closer than I think anyone would have expected. Sorry. So with that, Joel Armia gets his ninth of the season. He is now tied for second in scoring. Gallagher is first, obviously, with 10. And he is now tied for Tomas Tatar with second, which means the only issue really with this team at this point, in my opinion, could be getting rid of Riley and Kulak, which they did with who? Olofsson and Fleury. I think the only issue now is goaltending. I think if you keep the team as is right now, maybe adding Taylor Hall in the offseason, if you were able to trade Paul Byron away, because that 3.5 is kind of ugly, just to be secure with $11 million. And maybe even if you can trade Weber, I personally, after this game, would be for it, because we will get into a few plunders that Weber had. But get rid of that $7.5 million, and you spend that then on Taylor Hall. That would be amazing. You can call up Alexander Romanov next year. You could even probably sign with the $10 million you have. Not only sign Domi, who I think would possibly take a bit of a contract, because he's at 3.5 now. I think he would arguably take the same thing, maybe even a little less if it means improving the team. But you could probably even sign maybe Roman Josi or a Torrey Krug if they do go to free agency, which will they? Not 100% yet, but they very well could. If they do, Canadiens are a likely source, I think, especially for Taylor Hall. I think the Canadiens trading for Taylor Hall wouldn't work well. I think, if anything, it would much rather be they sign him in the offseason, because it's pretty obvious Taylor Hall will be going to free agency after this season. So, yeah, if you can get Taylor Hall, I think if you keep the core as is right now, like I said, except for maybe getting rid of Byron, who that 3.5 is looking kind of ugly with, especially with the knee surgery, if he comes back and he's not as fast as he is, especially being 30 years old, I think a team like Ottawa could definitely take that. But like I said, even maybe Weber, if you want to secure Taylor Hall and a top defenseman like Torrey Kruger or Roman Josi, trading Weber would be perfect. Why can't we just win? Because apparently we're missing Drouin, Byron, and a top star like a Taylor Hall. And I think maybe replacing Weber. Well, actually, the overtime loss in a way was kind of to blame on Domi and Armia, which I will get to. But so what? I agree. The Habs, we really can't win. Just my apologies. Just a second. Exactly. We missing players. Yeah, we're missing Drouin and Byron. But I feel like if we were to go after someone like a Taylor Hall in free agency, or even a Roman Josi or a Torrey Krug, it could help the Habs' depth. Because if you get rid of, say, Weber, and instead of throwing that 7.5 at Weber, you throw it at Taylor Hall, will Taylor Hall have 21 points by this point of the season? More than likely next season. And do I think Torrey Krug or Roman Josi could put up 21 points by now? No, but I think they would be much better defensively. I think they could be putting up 15, 20 points at this point maybe. But I think they would definitely be much better defensively as well. So if the Habs trade Weber and Byron and they can go out and get a Taylor Hall or a Roman Josi or Torrey Krug, it would definitely help the Habs big time, I think. So yeah, Armia scores 19 seconds in from Mete. It's his fifth assist. Armia's ninth of the season. The Habs are able to score. And it proves 19 seconds in. And then the Habs are playing very well thus far. The Weber seemed to be going back to how he was earlier in the season. He gave up 2 bounces off his stick that could have provided well for the Flyers, but thankfully they didn't. Thankfully they didn't. And then Dano was taken down hard. He was sent into Brian Elliott. He took a bit to get up, but once he did, he went right to the back. Probably should have been a penalty or even a penalty shot. Of course, someone would have had to take Dano's place unless he came back and after the whistle he came back. It's all right, take the penalty shot, but they probably would have just given it to someone else. Like, all right, you take the penalty shot for Dano. But the referees somehow missed that. Probably should have been a penalty. I understand why it wasn't. They probably didn't see it, but yeah, it more than likely should have been a penalty. And then the Habs were playing quite well in the late goings of the first period. They were doing their best to get more goals. They just couldn't. Brian Elliott played very, very well tonight, and we're going to see as the game goes on, I think. And then with a few seconds left in the game, Weber fans on a pass to Armia. It could have given the Canadiens a 2-0 lead, and I honestly think it would have if they get that puck to Armia. It's a 2-0 lead going into the second period. So Weber providing very little to the Habs this game right now, but it doesn't matter because going into the second period, it's 1-0 Canadiens, and the shots are 8-7 Habs as well. Not looking like it's going to be a very high-scoring game and not a very shot-heavy game, but I've been proven wrong before. Earlier in the second, the Flyers were trying to push for the tying goal, and they got it. It was Justin Braun. He scored. It's 1-1. And it was a nice goal on Keith Kincaid. Then just over 20 seconds later, it's Tomas Tatar. Tomas Tatar scores his 9th. So there he's tying for Weber for 3rd, actually, at that point. It's Tomas Tatar. It's from Weber and Dano. So Weber does get on the board. He gets an assist. And so does Dano. Dano gets an assist. Dano's definitely working out to be a good first-line center for the Canadiens. Where's everybody else? Damn. Captain Canada, I don't know. I don't know if they're watching the hockey guy because I saw he just uploaded his video. But I don't know where all the viewers are. If you're talking about where the Habs are, they're playing well. Everyone is playing well. I'm just taking sort of very limited notes in a way right now, personally. Dano apparently with his 100th career assist with the Canadiens, which is pretty awesome. That's pretty cool. He got his 100th career assist with the Habs. And then a few seconds later, Kevin Hayes scores his 100th career goal. He ties the game up again, so we're tied at 2. 3 goals within the span of about a minute 20. That was a very crazy minute 20 right there. And then this is something I was really not a fan of. Domi sucker punched one of the Philadelphia players. And honestly, that was a very badly missed call by the officials. That should have been at least a 5-minute game misconduct, and the league probably should have looked into it. But yeah, it's for some reason Domi does not get called for the sucker punch. I don't get why. He was called for it last season in preseason, but Domi gets away with it this time, and he's lucky. And then I think that's really what sparked the physicality in the game. Looking back at it now, is that Domi sucker punch. I think that's what sparks the physicality from here on out. Because Gustav Olofsson, he gets taken down with a nice clean hit from I believe it was Joel Farabee. And the game is starting to get physical at that point. There's about 6 left to play, and it was starting to get physical. Hudon got a nice chance on a breakaway, but Elliott was there for the save. And then Cousins was hurt by Niskanen, and he was slow to get to the bench. And apparently Mete was in the back. I didn't see what Mete got hurt with. I'm going to where are my markers? My markers are right over here. So actually, as of right now, I'm not sure if he's going to stay out. I don't remember if he came back to the game. But right now, Mete also has to be hit with that. He has to be hit with the green injured star. And I was going to give it as well to Cousins, but I'm more than positive Cousins did come back to the game. But if Mete's hurt, that means Riley, I would think it's Riley, comes back in the lineup next game. And I think Gustav Olofsson's playing second-line minutes. I think he's going to play with Jeff Petrie. Unless, of course, they decide to move someone to left wing or or put Mike Riley on the second line. Who knows? Maybe Riley and Petrie's lineup matching that we just needed, and they'll work better than Mete and Petrie have been when they've been playing together. All right, here we go. Flyers were really taking over the physicality in the game after the Domi sucker punch. Of course, like I said, the Olofsson hit from, like I said, I'm pretty sure it was Joel Farabee. Cousins getting hurt by Niskanen, and then Mete going to the back. I'm pretty sure he got hurt. I didn't see it either. So that's 3 Canadiens players that went to the back, or that didn't go to the back, but that got hit. I want to say it was in the span of about 2 or so minutes at that point. And just taking the note now, because I only saw it now when the commentators brought it up. But Kincaid's mask today had UP on one side with a hard hat on, and the other side a road closed sign. And it was great to see him having fun with his masks, as he always has after the games on Twitter when he's not starting, posting the emotes with the game summary pretty much. And yeah, it was pretty cool to see him paying tribute to all the roads that are being fixed in Montreal right now. There was that. And then both goaltenders were playing very well, both Kincaid and Elliott, which are both backups, funny enough. Not Kincaid, my apologies. Carter Hart, I believe, played last night in Detroit. Was it Detroit? I think it was. And then, of course, Price played the other night against, who did the Canadiens just lose to? I forget. Yeah, I forget. But yeah, the Canadiens lost with Price in that last game, so they had to put Kincaid in this game. Or they didn't have to, but it was best that they did. They did. Jesus, I can't speak. Nick Cherry, hashtag bleed orange and black. I don't know. I got to be honest, Nick Cherry, I'm becoming a Flyers fan because of Gritty. Gritty is turning me into a Flyers fan, slowly but surely. Hashtag go Flyers. He's turning me into a Flyers fan. Literally last year, I hated the Flyers. I would have been screaming over the result of this game this time last year. But given Gritty, I'm starting to turn to a Flyers fan. I'm not as big a fan. I might be a little bit bigger of a fan of them right now because of Gritty than the Penguins. But the Penguins are in my top 6 right now, currently. But who knows? That could change in the future. Where am I? AV has turned us around. Yeah, a lot of fun. Alan Vigneault has seemed to really turn the Flyers around because they didn't do much in the offseason, of course, signing Kevin Hayes. And I feel like they signed someone else, but I can't remember who right now. I feel like, no, Brian Elliott was already with them. I forget who they might have signed besides Kevin Hayes. But so far, the Flyers have really done well this season. And honestly, I want to see them in the playoffs just to see what Gritty does, what fun Gritty could possibly have. Justin Braun, who actually, in case you didn't see the game, I mentioned him earlier. Yes, he scored the game-tying goal for the 1-1 lead. So that's a good off-sign. That's good. That's good off-season signing. And, of course, Kevin Hayes. I just realized now, the 2 Flyers off-season signings scored tonight. So they were definitely key elements in the game tonight. Were Braun and Kevin Hayes. Thank you for pointing that out, Nick Cherry, that it was Braun as well that the Flyers signed. But both goalies were playing well. Elliott and Kincaid played well. They stopped what could have been some very crucial goals. I especially saw one in the second from Kincaid. There was a wide open net on one side of the net, and on the other side he was trying to make the save. And the Habs defense are playing well at this point, at that point in the game as well, where it's a wraparound attempted. I want to say it was Gosh to spare, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it was actually, but I'm going to say it was just in case. But the defense did well, and Kincaid got there in time. He probably would have made the save if the defense wasn't there to stop the puck. But both teams were playing very, very well, especially Kincaid and Elliott for both guys. Joey, Provorov is just too saucy. Provorov, I'm not gonna say he's too saucy, but he definitely is saucy. He did very, very well tonight, especially with that game winner. I just want to see the Habs in the playoffs again, but congrats to the Flyers on that one. I agree, Captain Canada. I do want to see the Habs in the playoffs as well. But definitely congrats to the Flyers. They definitely earned this victory. And, they definitely earned the victory tonight. The Canadiens got a point, but the Flyers get 2. So there's that. And the Flyers climb in the standings as they tend to do right now. And then the Habs are going to the power play. It was Travis Sanheim to the box for a slashing. Joel Armia gets 2 really great chances before the power play, though. He was trying to get a second of the game. But Brian Elliott gets 2 great saves. So actually he gets 3 great saves on Brian Elliott gets 3 great saves on Armia. And then Wheel gets a really good chance. But Brian Elliott is able to stop it. They would have given the Habs the 3-2 lead. And then Elliott makes another save on Jordan Wheel. I put Wheel needs to score at some point. Sadly, he didn't get on the board tonight, but Wheel needed to score. And I think he's definitely going to get another goal some point at some time soon in the season. Mark Tata, watch the game. So what? If you could type that in English, that'd be great because I usually can't. Okay. There we go. I assume communications between themselves. I'm a Flyers fan, but I know the Habs can do better. I also expect a lot more from Carey Price. Joey, I agree. The fact that Price has allowed, I want to say it's 22 goals in the past 4 games, or the past technically 3. Well, the last 4 he played, because tonight he obviously didn't play, was Kincaid in net. But the fact Price has allowed that many goals in that short amount of games is not good, and I definitely – the Habs can definitely do better. They're just missing Drouin, Byron, and it seems Mete. I wasn't sure if he came back, but they might be missing Mete as well. That's 3 key pieces that you're missing, especially Drouin. With his 15 points, you're definitely going to miss that. Okay, Captain Canada's my friend. Oh, so what? That's awesome. So what? That's great. I like your username because it sounds like so what. No, but that's awesome. That's awesome. So what? Ryan Synergy, hello. Welcome to the streams. My friend. Allowing that many goals, it really is. And honestly, I feel like I don't want to say it, but I really hope it's not that Price is declining in his skill level this early on into his contract. Because the Habs have him at $10.5 million. I think if Price continues to be this way, even if the Habs are winning, if they have to say win 6-5 or 8-7 or something, and Price is allowing that many goals in the games, it's absolutely time to trade him already. I feel like doing what I've been suggesting recently, trading Price to Vegas for Fleury would be great. Because not only do you get $3 million off your cap by trading Price for Fleury, but you could also possibly rob Vegas again by getting some type of draft pick or prospect along with Fleury. So, there's definitely that. I would definitely try and trade Price personally. Thomas Killer 09, hello there. Hello, Thomas Killer 09. I spoke to him about your channel because I enjoy your content, buddy. As a Habs fan, he's also a Habs fan. Oh, nice. Captain Canada, thank you for suggesting my comment or my channel to So What. Thank you. I appreciate that. Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome to see people spreading my content around with their friends. Thank you. That's a really big compliment to me. Thank you. So the Habs are going to the power play. Where am I? Oh, no. So Domi fanned on a good chance with about 10 seconds left. Wheel decided not to shoot again. He was like, okay, no, I'm not going to shoot again. He tries to get it to Domi. Fans on a good chance though, and heading into the third, it's 2-2. The shots are 18-19 for the Canadiens. Your opinion on Kotkaniemi? I think right now, before the last 3 games, I thought he was a bust, but I think in these last 3 games he's starting to get better. And I'm starting to think he's more or less just in a sophomore slump because with him getting 2 points the other night, I forget which game it was, but he got 2 points, got a goal and an assist. And I think Kotkaniemi's definitely starting to work better. I feel like in a way he's Drouin. He was like Drouin, or Jonathan Drouin, where he wasn't working as hard, but he was expecting the points. But I think Kotkaniemi now, he's quickly realized, okay, no, yeah, I have to really work hard on the ice. And I've definitely seen that in Kotkaniemi the past 2 games. I do think right now still we should probably either send him down to the AHL or trade him away, perhaps. But the kid's 19, so I would give him another year or 2. Do you have some mock trade? For Kotkaniemi, ideally, personally, I would pair him with the Taylor Hall trade, but I don't want to trade for Taylor Hall. I'd rather the Canadiens go after Hall in free agency. But Kotkaniemi, mock trade for him, I honestly can't say I do. Honestly, I can't say I have a mock trade for Kotkaniemi, really. Unless it'd be for someone like a Capo Caco, because the Canadiens have a big trade. The Canadiens have a big center pool that we can afford to get rid of some. I'm a head out. I'm playing PS4 World of Warships Legend, so I just came and say, so what? Thank you. And you know what? So what? So what? Thank you for coming to the stream for a bit, and appreciate you coming in to say hi. And I assume giving the stream a like, because there's 5, and I appreciate the likes. Thank you all so much who've liked. I think the only good defenseman that the Habs have is Shea Weber. When a goaltender doesn't have great defense from him, he has to do too much. Unlike when you have a great defense, you can relax a bit, you know? Oh, or anyone else. Okay, just a second. Thomas, I'll get to your comment in just a second. But Joey, I feel like the Habs do have a good defense. They have Weber, who is doing good. Petrie is in a bit of a slump right now. Sherrod hasn't fit too well. Mete's been playing well. I felt Olofsson played well tonight. Fleury is a great young defenseman. Despite the points not being there, he's playing very well defensively. Even Riley with 5 assists, he can play well sometimes. Kulak's been our only real big, oh God, you should not be in the lineup at all. So do you think Julian, 100% Thomas Killer? I think Julian, if the Habs lose tomorrow night against the Bruins and lose 8 in a row, I think that's the point where it's all right, Claude Julien is done from the bench, and I feel like it'll either be Kirk Muller or they're going to try and sign someone like a Babcock or someone like that who's a free agent. Ghost for Domi? Primo Pica? No, I don't do Ghost for Domi. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying 17 points from Domi for 6 for Ghost. I don't do that personally. But yeah, Thomas, I think Julian is done soon. Same opinion as you. Great. I'm glad you. Oh, unless you're talking with Captain Canada. Joey ain't bad, TBH. Yeah, I agree. I really like Domi as well. He's actually my third or my second favorite Canadian, my third favorite player of all time. Okay, not of all time, but my current people that are playing now, he's my third favorite player. Thanks for the input. Even though I'm not a Habs fan, I'm going to subscribe because I like the content. So you do. Joey, thank you very much for the subscription. I appreciate that. You're not a Habs fan, but you like the content. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And if you like the content, actually, starting tomorrow, because I'm pretty sure tomorrow is December 1st. I don't think there's a November 31st. But starting tomorrow, I'm actually going to be uploading one video a day. I call it 25 Days of Harry, from the 1st of December to the 25th of December, obviously. I'm uploading one video a day, plus these streams that I do after the games, and sometimes live reacting to the games. The next 2 Habs games, the Bruins and Islanders, I will be live reacting to. So yeah, surprise of the year in Montreal. Surprise of the year, if we're talking Thomas Killer as well. Thank you for the subscription, Thomas Killer 09. Surprise of the year, Suzuki. If we're talking about what's going on right now, I think Suzuki. I was not expecting Suzuki to have 13 points, honestly. I was expecting him to have maybe 4 or 5, and for him to be in the minors right now, honestly, I was thinking, okay, he'll play well for a bit, and then he'll slow down. Yes, 13 points isn't exactly lighting up the league. For a rookie like Suzuki, that's still really, really good, especially in Montreal. Though I think the biggest surprise is Kale Fleury only having 1 goal, because he's playing very, very well defensively. I think him only having 1 goal is a very big, I don't want to say letdown, but it's sad seeing him only with 1 goal despite how well he's playing. It's sort of like, I guess the biggest example right now for me would be Kotkaniemi. Kotkaniemi is playing well. Kotkaniemi. But the points aren't there right now. Suzuki or Paling? Right now, 100% Suzuki, honestly. 100% Kale Suzuki. I'm Kale Suzuki, Jesus. Nick Suzuki over Ryan Paling right now, because Paling came up for a game or 2. He has no points. Suzuki has 13 in, I believe, 25 or 26. I think he's only been scratched for 1, if that. But right now, definitely Nick Suzuki. But I think if we did bring up Paling and he played more and got into the rhythm of things, I think Paling in the long run I probably would take. But Suzuki, keep in mind, the first 5 or 6 games he played, he didn't really have a point. And after that, he started going. Fleury or Romanoff, from what I've seen, Fleury 100% because I haven't seen anything of Alexander Romanov actually, which sucks because I do have to start watching the AHL more often, which I'm pretty sure that is where Alexander Romanov is. I'm 100% that's where he is. But Romanov definitely seems like a good, young, promising defenseman from what I've heard. But right now, based off what I've seen of him, definitely Cale Fleury. And to get back to your earlier comment, do I have a specific trade set up for anyone? Personally, if I had to trade anyone, it would be Price, Kotkaniemi, and Weber. Actually, no, I have two, actually. I'd probably do Price and Kotkaniemi to Vegas for Fleury, a first and a second, if they would take that. And then I would ship off Weber, or if they want Weber and Price, to Ottawa for the first and second overall draft picks, probably a second and a prospect, and then that way Montreal tanks and they get the first 3 draft picks in the draft. So you get Alexis Lafreniere, who would be perfect because he's French Canadian and actually a really good player, unlike someone else we drafted 10 years ago, Willy Blanc. And that way you get second overall. Quentin Byfield, I finally remembered his name, Quentin Byfield. And then third overall, which you could actually draft a goalie. I apologize for flipping. You can get Lafreniere, Colton Byfield, and you can get the goalie if you want. That I forget what his name is, but he's a really good goaltender apparently. And if you want, you can stick with Primo and the goaltender is drafted to go 5th right now. And then you can have another Price and Halak situation where you have 2 great goaltenders, possibly keep them both. You have a Boston situation right now where they have Rask and Halak, and they play very well together. They both pretty much play even amount of games. I think Rask plays like 3 or 4 more, which is understandable because he's kind of their starter. But yeah, those are my 2 trades I'd have. I'm watching 3 Montreal prospects in the QMJHL. They play for Chimatoma. They're really good. Really? They're really good. Nice. Oh, QMJHL, that's probably where the Canadiens prospects are actually, not the AHL. I don't know what I was thinking when I was saying AHL. But that's awesome. The goalie is Askarov. Thank you, Thomas Killer 09. Askarov. Thank you. Thank you for that, Askarov. So yeah, you take a center, defenseman, and goalie if you want to risk it. But I don't know. I feel like perhaps wherever the Canadiens draft, whether it's 3 or 15, somewhere between there, I feel like they could take Askarov, especially if he's like 13 to 15th. If he's still available there, I think the Canadiens could definitely go for him. If we do pull off a big trade and get first and second overall, my dream personally right now is to be attending the draft live, hearing Gary Bettman on the stage for first overall, saying we have a trade to Ottawa, Shea Weber or something like that, to Montreal, the first overall draft pick, something like that. Because I really think that'd be awesome, especially to be there live. And yeah, just a second, people. Hode, Harvey, Pinard, and Shank, a goalie. These are the players. Hode, Harvey, Pinard, and Shank, a goalie. These are the players. I'm not 100% what you're... Oh, those are the players that you're watching in the minors? Yeah, imagine Montreal with the first and second pick, and especially with this level of talent they have. Just imagine you can put Kotkaniemi in the minors, and you could possibly even put a Thompson, and you could even possibly put a Domi in the minors with Paling, Lafreniere, and Caulfield. Like, just think of the amount of depth the Canadiens would have. They have the first overall, the second overall, and possibly even the third overall draft pick if they tank and get the first and second overall. And then they still have Alexander Romanov, Jake Evans. I can't think of the other defenseman that's supposed to come up next season. Caulfield still needs to sign. They get Paling next year. That's 5 guys right there who still need to come up next season or the season after, which honestly, I think that's when we have our best chance for a playoff run, especially if we get Taylor Hall in the offseason. Honestly, like, just imagining that team is giving me chills. These players play. Oh, so they're good players then. That's pretty dope. That's great. I got to get back to the Canadiens game real quick, but of course, if anyone does want to talk about anything, to comment in the chat. Don't let me talking about the Habs game hinder anyone from talking. I'm definitely down for talking, as you can probably tell. All right, yeah. So Flyers cut off the rest of the penalty. It was about 20 seconds into the third period, and it was still 2-2 at that point. My finger is really hurting right now. I got trigger finger right now, I think. And then Travis Konecny. Travis Konecny scores. He makes it 3-2 for the Flyers. It's a shot that goes right off the post. Holt is 15 score in the queue. 15th in scoring, or he's a 15-year-old scorer? Because if he's a 15-year-old scorer, whoo, that's unless it's he's a 15-goal scorer, which that's pretty good right now. So Konecny, it's 3-2, shot off the post. Can't even blame Kincaid for that one. And then the Habs go to the power play. Ivan Provorov goes to the box for a tripping. And then 10 seconds in, it's Tomas Tatar, his second of the game. The Habs finally score on the power play. They're first in, I want to say it's like 8 or 9 games. Oh, no, because I think we scored a power play goal against the Rangers. So actually, probably our first in about 4 games, maybe. Where am I? Oh, yeah, so it's Tatar and assists going to Suzuki and Petrie. So Suzuki gets on the board again. And Petrie ties with Drouin for 6th in goal scoring on the team. 15th score in the league. Wow. That's not too bad. That's pretty good, actually. I like that. I like hearing that. And then Joel Farabee shoots, and it looks to be a goal, but it's not. It went off the post. It looked like it went in. I would think it's reviewable to see if it was in the net or not. They obviously did look at it during the play, and it was determined it wasn't a goal, which I'm pretty sure it wasn't if they did determine that. So very close chance for Farabee right after Tatar's goal. I want to say it was like a minute after, or 2 minutes after. That would have given the Flyers the lead. And then Tatar gets a great chance looking for the hat trick. And then after the whistle, it's Deneau going at it. I forget who it was with, but it's going to be a Flyers power play. Tatar went to the box instead of getting the hat trick. He goes to the box. It's a slashing call. But the Flyers power play was really bad, and the Habs were able to clear the puck many times. And they killed off the penalty. Where are you from? I'm from Montreal. I'm from Montreal, somewhere within the vicinity of Montreal. I don't feel comfortable saying exactly where in case any weirdos want to show up to my house. I'm not saying you're a weirdo, Thomas Killer. It's just precaution. But yeah, I'm from Montreal. Olofsson was playing more with Mete having some sort of injury. Like I mentioned earlier, Mete was out. So Olofsson was playing second line minutes, I believe. And from what I saw, he played very well tonight, especially with Petrie, I think, or with Sherrod, excuse me. I'm pretty sure he was playing with Sherrod. No problem. Hey, great. Glad you understand. And then Michael Raffle and Joel Armia went at it. Armia was jamming at the puck. Brian Elliott had it saved. They were just trying to get anything going to let's get the lead, but they weren't able to. Yep, Gustav Olofsson was called up. Brent Kulak and Mike Riley were healthy scratches. I was about to say sent down, but no, they were healthy scratches. Cale Fleury was on the third line, third defensive pairing, right wing, right hand defenseman, and then Gustav Olofsson played the left D for that third line and the second line, I believe, as well, because he was with Sherrod after Mete got injured. He played well tonight, but he didn't get any points, sadly. But Gustav Olofsson did indeed play tonight, or today, I should say. He did play. I want to say he played probably around, I'd say 10 or so minutes. So he played well tonight. He had some hits. He got hit himself, obviously, as any hockey player does. But Olsen, I think if they keep him up, he can definitely get a couple points, I think, and throw the body around. Hopefully he just doesn't get injured, because I'd love to see this guy play a full season in the NHL sometime. Mete injury, where? I didn't see where. I don't know if he's 100% injured. That's why I have the green mark on him, just in case. Hopefully he isn't injured, but yeah, he left the game, and Olofsson was put up to the second line, and hopefully Mete's fine. Hopefully it's just one of those things where it's like, all right, you'll be back tomorrow against the Bruins, unless they leave him a healthy scratch, which probably would be the safe thing to do, and just bring him back Tuesday against the Islanders. But right now I wouldn't say it's anything to worry about unless it's revealed Mete out 2 to 3 months with this ankle injury or something. Let's say like that. But favorite Canadiens player of all time, the guy that's just off screen, Saku Koivu. Personally, I'll actually point. That's a picture of Saku Koivu right there. He's probably my favorite Canadiens player of all time. Yeah, I've heard a lot about him. I've seen clips of him on YouTube, especially the clip of him returning to Montreal in 2002, getting the 6-minute standing ovation. And yeah, close behind is probably Brendan Gallagher, though. Brendan Gallagher is definitely close behind, in my opinion. Mike, at the end of the third, it was tied 3-3. The shots were 41-28 Canadians heading into overtime. Brian Elliott, aside from letting us in those 3 goals, was a brick wall. Brian Elliott played incredibly well tonight. One of the best games I've seen him play recently. And Thomas Killer, who's your favorite Canadiens player of all time now that I mentioned it actually? Just a moment. All right, so we are here. Oh no, lost a viewer. That's not good. So in overtime, my apologies. Actually, just a second. All right, we're good. So offside. There's an offside 12 seconds in from Domi and Armia. It cost the Habs big time as the Flyers win the faceoff, get in the zone, and Ivan Provorov scores. He pretty much comes into the Canadian zone. Domi and Petrie don't go in on him at all. And yeah, Provorov just goes in. Petrie and Domi don't go in at all. They don't play defense. They just let Kincaid take the shot, or they let Provorov get the shot off. And the final score is 4-3 Philadelphia in overtime. Habs lost 7 in a row. But I do have to say it was probably their best effort they've put up since losing Drouin and Byron, in my opinion. So, yeah, it's 7 in a row. Yeah, there's that. Probably Lafleur, Robinson, Camilleri, and Kovalev. These are my top 4. Oh, that's a pretty good top 4. Lafleur, Robinson, Camilleri, and Kovalev. That's pretty dope. Yeah, so Camilleri, I can see why. Lafleur and Robinson, definitely, they're all-time Habs grapes. They're all-time Habs grapes. They're all-time Habs greats. And then Kovalev, definitely, I can see why he'd be up there. He's always been a fan favorite wherever he went. Pittsburgh, New York, Montreal. I feel like he was in St. Louis, I think. But it seems anywhere he went, he was a big fan favorite. But yeah, so that's the Canadiens game. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get out of here in a couple minutes. I've got to prepare for 25 Days of Harry, which starts tomorrow, which is insane to think about because it was just 15 days ago when I had every video planned out and started to record them. Yeah, I hope everyone is here for tomorrow. And actually, before I leave, real quick, now that I mention it, I actually want to give a link to my Discord in case anyone wants to join. That's where we will talk Canadiens, and of course, you'll get a special. Not special. Well, technically, you'll get a special notification whenever I go live. So yeah, I'll at everyone we live and put the link to the stream. And unless you, of course, want to subscribe and ring that notification bell, hopefully it works because I don't think it does. But yeah, Captain Canada was fun watching. I'm glad you thought so. I'm glad you thought it was fun watching. Once I leave, I'm actually probably going to be watching Blade Runner. Any thoughts on Radulov when he left? Personally, I thought it was bad for the Canadiens to just let him go like that and let him go to free agency and then like, hey, we'll offer you the same thing Dallas is offering you, just technically less because you're going to be coming back to Montreal. When Dallas, you pay less taxes. Radulov, I can understand why he'd want to leave. Probably more money for him and his family. But would I like to see Radulov return to the Canadiens? Yes, I think he definitely would have been a great right winger on that first to third line, probably that second line, I would think. Because Galley, you can't move him off that first line. Galley is awesome on that first. But it sucks that the Canadiens let him go like that. And yeah, it's I'm glad to see him doing well in Dallas. I do really like Dallas. But yeah, it sucks to see that he left Montreal. Understandable though, but it sucks that he did leave. Come on, load Discord. There we go. So yeah, I'm probably gonna head out in just a second, or in just a minute, guys. Unless there's any other comments you guys have. In that case, I'd love to. I'm going to see Chinna tomorrow. See ya. See ya. Try to keep you some info. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it, Thomas Killer 09. I appreciate it that you'd give me some info after the game tomorrow. I'm going to be live during the Bruins game, live reacting to it. And, of course, I'm going to be live after the game. I'm going to end that stream and go live after the game with the recap, as I always do for every Habs game. So, yeah, I hope to see you in either or stream if it's the same time as the Chinchitimi game. I hope I said that right. I probably butchered the hell out of it. Or it's after the Habs game and during the recap. Love to get some info. Whatever you wanna type, that'd be great. Which team you think will win the Stanley Cup this year? Which I could see St. Louis repeating. They've been very well without Tarasenko, and if Tarasenko's back for the playoffs, that's going to be tough for other teams because he's going to be healthy. I could see Boston winning it. They've been very, very well this season. I think they have the right core pieces and the right Pasternak's just looking like a superstar. Pasternak's looking like a superstar. I could see the Bruins winning it. I can see this being the year Vegas possibly wins. If they can get back into the playoffs, they can trade for that one final core asset that they need. I think if they trade for that one backup goalie they need, they could definitely do better, I think. They definitely have what it takes at that point. Thank you, bro. You're awesome. Good night. Thomas Killer, thank you very much. And Captain Canada, actually, I'll say a Canadian team just because I think the Oilers could win it. If they get one more depth piece, if they somehow trade for Taylor Hall, have that first line to end the stream, favorite player outside the Canadiens. Oh, damn it. Okay, you're actually spoiling a video for 25 Days of Harry, but I doubt anyone is watching this far in the stream. To end your stream, you know what? Because no one is going to be watching the end of the stream aside from the people that are really dope, like you, Captain Canada, and Thomas Killer. I'm going to say it. My favorite player outside of the Canadiens is Marc-Andre Fleury. Now watch. It technically isn't true because they probably just traded for Fleury. That would be awesome, but it would suck in terms of relevancy to the stream. But Marc-Andre Fleury is my favorite player outside of the Canadiens. Love him off the ice, on the ice. Good pick. Thank you, Thomas Killer. Who's your favorite player outside of the Canadiens? I'd love to hear before I end the stream because, yeah, I like hearing thoughts. Good night. Oh, okay, Thomas Killer. Good night. And that's going to do it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're somehow watching this late into the VOD or in the stream in general, I think outside the Habs. McKinnon just too good. McKinnon is really good, I think, outside the Habs. Oh, you think outside the Habs? Yeah, Kevin Canada, I do as well. Yeah, but that would suck if Fleury just got traded to the Canadiens, just in terms of like, oh, Fleury's now he's a Canadian. Why'd you say Fleury if he's a Canadiens player now? But yeah, but yeah, outside of the Canadiens, Fleury from Vegas is my favorite right now. So yeah, guys, thank you guys very much for watching. That's gonna do it for this stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Harry Rice. Links in the description on my Twitter and my Twitch. My Twitter I don't use a whole lot right now, just when I see something on trending that I really want to talk about and I don't want to make a video. Yo, bro. I might go with either Laine, Matthews, Marner, or McDavid. I can't blame you. Matthews is in my top 5, definitely. Laine, I personally wouldn't go for. But, of course, if you do, that's perfectly fine. Me, personally, not a huge fan of Laine. McDavid, he's definitely got talent, and Marner's definitely got talent. So I can understand why you go with one of those 4. But yeah, my Twitter, I don't use too often except when I talk about trending, something that's on trending. I don't want to make a short 2-minute video about it or 2-minute live stream about it. My Twitch, I don't use it all right now. That I'm streaming right from YouTube actually right now. But Twitch, I got to figure out or OBS, I got to figure out how to use with Twitch. I'm gonna take a sip of water before I continue. Twitch, I got to figure out how to use with OBS and not make it lag, which probably has something to do with my Wi-Fi more than anything. I also have my My Amazon wish list is in the description. That's if you want to do that type of thing. If you don't want to, understandable. Completely, definitely understand why you wouldn't want to. If you do, it's appreciated. Any packages received in the month of December will be put right here on my desk. That's just right off screen, and they'll be held until December 25th. On Christmas, I will open. I will open my any packages open on a fun little Christmas live stream. If there are no packages, it'll just be a fun little Christmas live stream as always. Leafs are actually my first. Also, Habs fan. I'm a Leafs fan. I like the Leafs and Habs. I know I'm strange, K. Captain Canada, I'm the same way. I actually really like the Canadiens and the Habs. Actually, I'm the same way. So I'm right with you on that, brother. I'm right with you on that. Also in the description, aside from my wish list, Twitter and Twitch, is my letterbox. That's where I will review and rate movies. Most of the time, I just rate them. Sometimes I do review them. My most recent review is Joker, but spoilers in that review. Please watch Joker before you look at my review. Joker's a fantastic film. If you want to know what movies I like, what movies I don't like, letterbox is the place. Spoiler: bad comedy gets you a really big dislike from me. Yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Harris. Kind of want to stream, but I kind of don't want to end the stream, but I'm gonna have to. My name is Harris, and it was fun. I'll see you for the video tomorrow. Captain Canada, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and yeah, hope to see you guys whenever I can. Thank you very much. My name is Harris, and I am out. Too sweet. Peace.